Hi everyone, I'm Andrea Pani.
Hi everyone, my name is Adriana.
Hey, I'm Ayana, and today I'll be discussing the types of statues we see of women and some stereotypes with them.
If there's one thing that is true about history is that we have left women out of it time and time again. If you're a woman, your best chance at becoming a statue is to be a mythical or allegorical figure, a famous virgin, royal, or nude. A quote from Carolina Criado Perez for New Statesman. This leaves out the women who have changed the world in one way or another, telling us that if you're a woman who has actually accomplished something important in your life, you cannot get a statue. You do not deserve a statue to your name simply because you did not meet the standards that have been set for female statues. But by directing and giving our attention only to women who are fictional, royal, or nude, we're telling women, and most importantly, little girls, future generations of women everywhere, that the roles they play in the world, in our society, have no significance.
The issue isn't just that history has left women out, it is also that not many people are willing to change it. When asked why they don't just simply build more statues of women, the excuses are not strong ones, believe me. Women are met with speeches about how there is no space left in a certain area for statues of a woman. We are told that people don't make statues anymore and that there is simply nothing to be done about that. Another form of excuse is saying that statues are built to memorials and not certain people, and yet there are 43 statues of men named John. When given the obvious solution of replacing certain male statues with statues of women who deserve actually the spots, we are told that replacing those statues is erasing history. History is not made up of just men and their stories. The world would not be what it is if it were not for the women who helped just as much as men. To quote Kristen Capps, a famous writer for CityLab, replacing, say, like 10% of our most redundant or obscure sculptures would not seriously affect the telling of US history, except to make it slightly more complete. When finally given a chance for a statue of women, they are met with background checks they must pass, such as providing historical evidence of their accomplishments, as in the case in Statuary Hall in Washington, D.C.
Statistics show that statues of women only make up about 2 to 3% of a country. In the National Park Service, there are 44 memorials, and mere 3 of them are of historic women. Statuary Hall, a museum in Washington, D.C., has been described as a symbol of the nation and its history. For all 50 states, there are 100 statues, but only 9 of these statues are of women. While sorting through the statues in the UK National Database of the Public Monuments and Sculpture Association, Carolyn Criado Perez found that out of 925 statues, only 158 of them are of women, almost half of them falling under allegorical figures like justice or art. 14 of them are of Virgin Mary, 83 statues of nude women, and only 71 of them are of historical female figures. 40 of those are of royal women, and a total of 29 of those are of Queen Victoria herself, leaving us with 25 statues that are of non-royal women, and one out of those is of a ghost looking for the ghost of her murdered husband. Out of 925 statues, she found 517 of them were of men, but only 19 of them were of royals, which means the remaining 498 are of non-royal historical men, making up 54% of statues in the UK.
Despite everything we've told you so far, the world has proven that it can and does produce statues of women, but only when it wants to. There aren't enough statues for us to comfortably say that this is enough and we can just stop right here, but there are some pretty great ones out there. Examples are Jane Austen, Emmeline Pankhurst, Pocahontas, Amy Winehouse, and Joan of Arc. This variety of statues just proves that there is no limit to the type of women who deserve our attention. But the importance of female statues goes past just beyond the confidence of little girls. They destroy a stereotype that only men are powerful and only men can inspire us. This connects us to the issues of equality, By creating more statues of women, we are going down a path of a more equal future by letting women know that their accomplishments are seen, heard, and appreciated. We can't hope for an equal future if we don't know that it is possible, and we can't hope for equality if all genders don't learn about women and their accomplishments from an early age. But this isn't just about history and equality, but also how much women are valued. Creating more statues of women proves to citizens and the outside world how much a community values the women and what those women have done. Should there be more statues of women? But what kind of women? Women who deserve statues, like, for example, I don't know, Angela Davis, who, I don't know anything about Angela Davis, actually.
In what you just said, I think it's a prime example of why we need more female statues, so that we are tempted to look into those people and learn more about them.
True. Should there be more statues of women?
Yes.
What kind of women deserve statues?
Important female figures throughout history.
Yeah, but what qualifies as an important female figure?
Women who have changed the world through their discoveries.
Yeah. So if there was a statue of Angela Davis, maybe we would all know who she is. As soon as you hear her name, you know exactly who you're talking about. So who do you guys think deserves statues?
I believe Begum Rokeya should have a statue in my country because she was a very well-known Bengali writer and she worked for women's rights. And since I'm going to study law in the future, she's a personal inspiration because she always dreamt of a society where women would be judges or barristers or lawyers.
What about you, Andriana?
I forgot the name of one of our women president. Her name is Maya Sandu, and she is a Moldovan politician, and she is the current leader of the Party of Action and the Solidarity. It's called PAS in Romania. And she's also a former prime minister of Moldova from 2019. And on November 2019, Maya Sandu's government fell after the vote of the censure motion or something like that. I don't really remember. But she actually, what is interesting about her is that she graduated from 3 universities. And she also graduated from Harvard University. Yeah, she's like a really nice woman. She fought for education, especially for the girls' education in our country, and she fought for equality. Unfortunately, we only have one statue of a man, and the rest of them are like writers.
I think that there should be a statue to Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She was a pivotal figure in women's history and civil rights history. She did a lot of things for society for a lot of generations. And you said this, she was, I think, the first woman to ever be in the Supreme Court, to be a Supreme Court judge. She achieved so many things for so many women, and there's no specific statue to her name, which I think is borderline ridiculous. I've done some research, and apparently we do have female statues. What I've noticed is that there is certain memorial, but they're not dedicated to specific women. They're dedicated to the mother or the mother of many children. It made me question, is that what we're trying to get across? In order for you to be this, you need to be a mother. Like, you only classify as an important female figure if you're a mother. I don't think we should teach girls that that's the only factor that makes you worthy.
But it's also saying that their identities don't matter. Like, someone else who was almost completely left out of history was Katherine Johnson, the NASA computer scientist. Moon landing would not have been possible without her. But I had no idea who she was until I watched that movie Hidden Figures. And that movie came out, I think, in 2017, which is like 50 years after. A moon landing is not possible without someone. Doesn't that person deserve more recognition?
It's about everything that person does.
I feel it'd be really nice to see more statues of women around here. I really think it's time for change.
They never teach us any of this. I mean, I don't remember any history lesson teaching me about a female statue and why they had a statue. It's all stuff you have to go look for yourself, and most of us don't. So most people remain uneducated on the subject. So there needs to be better education. And so we do believe that there should be more statues of women, and there is no limit to the kinds of women who deserve statues.
Yes.
There is no limit because everybody has different qualities about them, different things they've done to help the world in general.
The world isn't just created by politicians or royals. It's created by scientists and artists and everyone in between.